board the Dart Explorer this afternoon for your slightly drizzly hour cruise. Now we're going to start by going up the river towards Dittersham, then we'll turn around and come back out and go down to the mouth of the river and show you the castles. Now before we go any further, we are obliged by law just to give you a very short safety announcement, and that's just to let you know that we are certified by the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency and that we carry all the relevant life-saving equipment on board. Now that comes in the form of life rafts that are situated on the top deck, life rings that are on the railings on the top deck, and life jackets that are in clearly marked boxes around the boat. Now in the very unlikely event of an emergency, you will hear 7 or more short blasts on the ship's horn, and we just ask that you remain seated, remain calm, and just wait for any instruction from the crew. Now on board today we have Mark, who's our skipper. He's in charge of the boat and he'll be driving. I'm Joe. I'm just going to point out some places of interest for you. And down behind the bar we have Cyril and Bert. Now they will be more than happy to serve you teas, coffees, hot chocolates and some alcoholic drinks and a few small snacks. Now the bar is situated in the covered saloon area. And we also have toilets on board. They're also in the saloon area. Now ladies, yours comes in the form of a nice bright pink bucket. And gents, yours is of course a nice blue bucket. Now we do ask kindly that when you've finished you empty them out over the side yourself. But it is a little bit windy today, so please do just check wind direction first. Of all attended the college, and of course it was there that the late Prince Philip met the late Queen Elizabeth in 1939. To correct myself, that it was King Charles who went there, not Prince Charles. I do apologise. Now Princess Elizabeth was only 13 then, and she had come into Dartmouth on board the Royal naval training used to take place on board 2 large hulks which were moored up at Sandkey. They were called the HMS Britannia and the HMS Hindustan. The purpose-built college was designed by Sir Aston Webb, and timbers from those old ships were then used in the construction of Liberty's, the famous shop in London's Regent Street. Now over to the right-hand side now, you can see a rather strange-looking vessel, a blue and white vessel. Now that's the Upper Dartmouth car ferry. Outside and across the river by 2 wires which enables fair leads at the bow and the stern of the vessel. It propels itself through the water by a large winch which is inside it. So this very reason it can't deviate from its course, and its correct description is a floating bridge. Okay, over to the left-hand side, which side? movers like man overboard and coming alongside. Now those ticket boats have been in service for around 2 years. They cost the Navy around £1 million each. And inside they've got about 5 or 6 little bunk beds, and so the cadets can get used to sleeping on board without actually having to go out to sea. They're very high tech and they can be manoeuvred by a small mouse. But not the kind of mouse that you feed cheese to, but the kind of mouse that you see next to your computer at home. Shipbuilders and engineers, and it was established in 1858, but it's now locally known as NOS. It was renowned for building ferries, tugs, Trinity House lightships, and a long line of minesweepers, motor torpedo boats, and air-sea rescue launchers for the RAF. It was there that they also built the 70-foot yacht British Steel, and that was in 1970. And Shave Blythe used it to circumnavigate the globe against the prevailing winds and currents. Now it was actually taken over about 3 years ago by Premier Marinas, and they're investing up to £100 million in the site. So you can see they've already built the lovely new workshops there, and the new reception area at the front. And where you can see the rubble, that's where they're going to build a lovely 5-star luxury hotel and conference centre. And we also found out that they're going to be building some affordable housing for locals. So we looked into it, got a bit excited. We found out that they're building 2 and 3 bedroom apartments. And they've got a very affordable starting price of £750,000. Affordable for who? We still don't know. Part of the heron family. They're a bit smaller, they're purely white. They used to be quite rare, and they only appeared on the River Dart around 70 or 80 years ago. Now the egret was almost hunted to extinction, and that was for the beautiful white feathers which we used to decorate hats. But a small group of ladies back in the 1930s took pictures on the beautiful birds, and they formed a society for their protection. And so began the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds. Now also keep your eyes open for the herons. Now they're grey, long-legged birds. You normally find them on their own. They're known as the lone hunters. You normally see them in 2s or 3s when they're teaching their young how to fish. Now they'll stand on the foreshore for up to an hour at a time without moving, just waiting for their next fish to swim past. Now also keep your eyes open for the cormorants. Now they look black, but they're actually a very dark green colour. Quite a sleek looking bird. You see them dive in, disappear for a while, and then pop up out of the water a bit further down the river. Now cormorants have a lower oil content in their feathers than other aquatic birds, so this allows them to be less buoyant, so they can easily swim under the water to chase fish. These birds have also been used for centuries by fishermen in India, Japan and China, and they're tethered to the boat by a line and a collar's placed around their necks to stop them swallowing the fish. They're allowed to dive down to catch a fish, then they're pulled back in and the fish is pulled out of their gullet. And a single cormorant can catch hundreds of fish per day in this manner. Now unlike other birds like swans and ducks, they have to keep swimming to stay afloat. And if they don't and they stay in the water for too long, unfortunately they would drown. So every now and again you see them flying off to the trees and branches to hang their wings out to dry. over to the right-hand side now. This is the start of Greenway Estate, or maybe better known as Agatha Christie's Estate. See a bird of prey there, just flying around the top of the trees there. Now on the right hand side now you can just see a little house nestled into the trees there, and this is Greenway Bathhouse, part of the Agatha Christie Estate or Greenway Estate. And you can go and visit it by walking down from the house through the trees for about 20 minutes. Now the only original part of it are the 3 archways you can see at the bottom just opening out the water, and inside it houses a saltwater plunge pool which is filled when it's on a high tide. Now back in Victorian times they used to believe that if you submerged yourself in the salt water it was great for ailments like rheumatism, arthritis and various skin conditions. Now if you go and visit, there's actually one of Agatha Christie's chairs in there and you're invited to sit on it. And that she did write a novel called A Dead Man's Folly, and this was based around the estate there, and they did a film about it as well. On the right hand side there, just standing on the branch, there's a couple of egrets surrounded by the seagulls. Now if you look up the right hand side you can see a cream painted Georgian house. Now this is Greenway House and this was the summer residence of Agatha Christie. Now Agatha Christie wrote a total of 79 novels and 19 plays, which still sell more than 25 million copies each year. Agatha Christie owned the estate for around 30 years, up until her death in 1976. Then the estate was left to her daughter, Miss Rosalind Hicks, and when she passed away in 2000, she left it to the National Trust. Now the walls of the study up in the house where Agatha did most of her work are still covered with the messages left by the young officers billeted there before the D-Day invasions in 1944. Now the 2 blasts on the horn, that's nothing to worry about, that's just Mark letting the other river users know that we intend to turn to the left. We don't have indicators on boats, so we just use the horn to communicate with the other boat users. Lodge, or known as Hamlin's Coombe, and it's presented to Sir Walter Raleigh for services rendered to good Queen Bess, Queen Elizabeth I. And that was for the importation of potatoes and a strange weed that you put in your mouth and set fire to, called tobacco. It was in this stretch of the river that Sir Walter Raleigh moored his ship, the Roebuck, and it took part in the fight against the Spanish Armada and for many other privateering operations and voyages of discovery. largest one of the viaducts. Now it was designed and engineered by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and it was to carry the Great Western Railway from Paddington to the village of Kingswear, and it was started in 1858. It was Brunel's original intention to bridge the Dart right here, but there was such fierce local opposition to the scheme that a special Act of Parliament was passed forbidding him the planning permission to go ahead. But he got a little bit carried away, and he'd already built the station in Dartmouth, which has now left Dartmouth with the doubtful distinction of being just about the only town in the world which has a lovely nice railway station, which has never been visited and probably never will be by a train. You can see there, there's some dull oak trees. They're one of two species of oak that are native to the British Isles. Now this particular pine is more tolerant of the more acid and less fertile soils that we have around here. The trunks used to be used for local boat building, and the branches were used in Totnes during the 12th century for making charcoal. And the bark of the trees yields a substance known as tannin, which is used for curing leather hide. You can see one of our steam trains there on the left-hand side coming through the trees. Now if you look over to the left-hand side and the right, you can see there's a lovely straight line at the bottom of the branches. Now during the winter months, when we're not doing these river cruises, the company needs to give us some work. So they set us off in little dinghies. We're all given a pair of gardening shears, and we're told to go and make the side of the river look pretty for the summer. Now if you believe that, you will believe anything that I tell you today. The actual reason why it's such a straight line is it's a high tide mark. So anything that hangs and dangles in the salty water of the River Dart for any length of time will eventually wither, shrivel and drop off. And it's for that very reason you won't find any male members of the crew swimming in the River Dart. That's just in case, of course. Now we're just passing the ferry on the left-hand side. That's the Christie Bell. She leaves from the same pontoon as we do, and she'll take you up to Greenway Quay if you want to go up and see Greenway House. Now the River Dart is actually 42 miles in length. It starts at a place on Dartmouth called Cranmere Pool. Starts with a small trickle of water and gets bigger and bigger. Now the River Dart is only navigable for about 12 miles. That's from the mouth of the river up to the lovely town of Totnes. You can go a bit further if you're in a canoe or a kayak. And there's around 300 boats moored between the mouth of the river and Totnes. They're on these various moorings. We've got the swing moorings on our right-hand side where they're just tied up at the front to these blue buoys, and the buoys are anchored to the bottom of the river. And a bit further over on the right-hand side, they're tied up front and back, and these are known as trot moorings. But people also moor on the floating pontoons, and those with a little bit more money put them in these lovely marinas that we have along the Dart. A little bit further down the river, you'll be able to see a couple of warehouses right at the bottom, workshops. Now that's where we take our fleet of vessels in the winter months for all their maintenance, a bit of an MOT, and we paint them inside and outside from top to bottom. Now the creek does dry out on a low tide, and we can only get these large vessels down there on a very high spring tide. But unfortunately they normally occur about 1 or 2 in the morning in the winter. And so the skippers love to get out of bed in the pitch black freezing cold, come out to the mooring and take the boats down there. It's actually the highlight of their job. Naval College is a repair and operating base for the small fleet of training vessels that are used by the college. Now it's long been a dockyard. It was established before Nelson's time, and they built no less than 14 wooden frigates there. See some of the cadets there, they're on the little motor whaler boats, so they start off their training on these boats. Just on the right hand side here we have Dartmouth Marina. Now Dartmouth Marina was formerly Phillips and Son shipbuilders before they moved across the river, and they used to build a lot of the wooden boats there. So when fiberglass took over, it was more popular. About 56 years ago they stopped the building the boats there and they turned it into Dartmouth Marina. Coming up on the right hand side we have our private mooring. See the first boat that we come up to, that's the Dartmouth Castle. Now she was built in 1947 at Phillips and Son, and she's actually part of an historic ship register. And in front of her we've got our very impressive paddle steamer, the Kingswear Castle. And she's been out of service for the last 18 months, and she's been having a refit. Came back onto the river this Tuesday this week. Now she was built in 1924, so it'll be her 100th year birthday next year. And she was built to replace the original Kingswear Castle paddle steamer that was actually used in World War I. She was used as an isolation hospital for soldiers that had unknown diseases. But after their use for that, they didn't want to bring her back into service, so she was given a Viking burial. And she was towed up the river towards Dartmouth and she was set alight. But not before they took the engines out and placed them in the Kingswear Castle that we just passed. the different systems for the upper car ferry. These are called the float system. So the float being the platform that carries the vehicles and the foot passengers. The tug's a little tugboat on the other side. So it's reverses off the quay, and then it spins round 180 degrees, keeping its bow attached to the platform, and it pushes it across the river like you can see there. Now these are one of the oldest forms of transportation that we have around here. They date back to the 1700s. They've actually been granted historic as car ferry status. Just see on the right hand side there, we've got that old quay. Now that's Bayard's Cove, and it was at 1620 that the Pilgrim Fathers set sail for Newfoundland, and that was on the Mayflower and the Speedwell. Now if you're spending any time in Dartmouth and you're looking for something to do, I can recommend walking out to Dartmouth Castle. It's about a 25-minute walk from town, it's not too hard though. If you don't fancy walking back, you can see the little blue boat on our right hand side, that's the Castle Ferry. That'll pick you up from town, take you out to the castle. There's a little steps near the castle. If you don't fancy walking back, catch you back. Building on the right hand side, the pink building. It's one of the last remaining thatched houses that we have in Dartmouth. It's a bit of a shame, it's a bit of a dying trade patching. But just to the right of it you can see a little old chapel. Now that used to be a fisherman's chapel, and they used to go there before they went out to sea and pray for a good catch and a safe return. But I think these days you can find the fishermen sat in the local pubs in Dartmouth with a pint in their hand doing exactly the same thing. Now where it opens up on the right hand side there again, that's Warfleet Creek, and it actually plays an important part in history with ships anchoring there during the Second Crusade in 1147. Then 8 centuries later, Warfleet House was taken over by commandos who planned military operations during World War II. In 1948, the old Warfleet Brewery was turned into a pottery business, which in its heyday employed around 200 people. And it produced the famous gurgling jug. Now out in front of us you can see that large expanse of water. Now that's the English Channel. Actually it's got the busiest shipping channel in the world. Doesn't look very busy today, but that's because it's closer to France, about 60 to 70 miles away. Now if we were to carry on and turn left, we go about 8 miles, we'd end up in Torquay. If we were to turn right and go about 3,000 miles, we'd end up in the Caribbean. I know where I'd rather be. Now on the right hand side, on the mouth of the river, you can see the castle, that's Dartmouth Castle. Now the main gun tower was built around 1493, and it housed a winding mechanism for a huge metal chain which could be raised across the harbour entrance to stop enemy ships from entering. The castle seems to impress the firepower over the centuries, and in 1891 heavy guns were added which could fire shells up to 2¼ miles out to sea. Again, nothing to worry about, the 2 short blasts, that's just to say that we're turning to the left again. Now where you can see the people just stood there waiting on the steps, that's where you would get the castle ferry to. Now as we turn on the other side of the river, you can see Now one of my favourite houses along the river is this one on the right hand side now. Looks like it's about 100 years old, but you'd be surprised to hear that it's only about 16, 17 years old. The gentleman who owns it was given permission just to rebuild and boathouse that was there. That's the little building at the front with the round windows. But he got a little bit carried away, as you can see, and he continued to build. It's taken a while to build it, because the only way to get the building materials there are by boat on a high tide, or by the elaborate lift system coming down through the trees that goes up to the closest road. The house has won an award for its exterior and interior, and apparently it does house a 2-lane bowling alley, a 12-seater cinema room, and a swimming pool. It did go on the market, and he was accepting offers, but those offers had to be around £5.5 million. On the left-hand side there, that the Navy cadets are just practicing a man overboard exercise. But we are approaching the town pontoon, so unfortunately that does mean we're coming to the end of our river cruise. Now, I do hope you've enjoyed yourself, and I hope that my commentary has been informative. And I can let you know that most of the stuff that I said has actually been true. Now, it has been a long-standing tradition here on the River Dart, dating right back to the paddle steamer days, of us placing a captain's hat at the gate for when you leave. Now, if you have enjoyed yourself and you want to show your appreciation, anything that's placed in the hat is greatly received, and it's split evenly amongst the crew at the end of the day. Now all that's left to say is to thank you on behalf of Mark, myself, Jeff and Luke for joining us today, and on behalf of the Dartmouth Riverboat Company. And we do hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your stay in the area. Now we will let you know when it's safe to disembark. And thank you for listening.
yourself some flowy skirts each.